Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. I've got my altcoin shirt on today. We're going to talk about correlation. So many questions flooding in. Why do altcoins go down when Bitcoin goes down on a day like today? So Thursday at time of recording, Bitcoin's down around 10%. I'll use round numbers throughout this presentation. And every coin in the top 100, around 20% in the red as well. Now this is priced in US dollar terms. I've talked about this a little bit in the past, so check out the correlation matrix video I did if you want an introduction, but we can now price in a lot of different coins and trade in a lot of different pairs on exchanges. I'm going to talk about all these things that influence the price of coins and the counter argument of, well, sometimes Bitcoin goes up and yet altcoins will still go down. So if we compare coins to Bitcoin here, we'll see it's around that difference. So between the 20 and 10%, they should be down 10% further on average, and that's basically the case as we look across the board there. So let's revisit that correlation matrix. Red being strongly correlated, blue being inversely correlated. Now, as we see across the crypto sphere here, everything's in the red. They've added a few columns here: the US stock market, volatility index, gold ETF, and US 10-year treasury note. And the only real example we've got of an inverse correlation is here. So if the stock market moves down, chances are volatility is going to go up. Versus in the crypto world, if Bitcoin goes up or down, look at how high these correlations are, around the 90% mark for some of these larger cap coins. Now let's explore why this is. I guess the first thing is the general news, sentiment, and trend in the market. Now, the technical analysts will tell you that news has no influence, and the fundamentals guys will tell you that charts and technical analysis doesn't work. The fact are, that's what creates a market, people on both sides of that trade. And if we've been really good news and positive in an uptrend and everyone's generally buying, then there's money coming in. And flip side is true, if people are unhappy selling, it's in a bear market, then prices as a whole are going down. So I guess that's the first thing just to be aware of. The next thing is the relationship to Ethereum. Now, so many ICOs are raising in ETH, and a lot of projects are ERC20 tokens, and Ethereum last year really acted as a proxy. So when Ethereum took off, it really started alt season. So a few factors there why Ethereum is very important to the alt market. Now, that might change in the future, but the other factor here is if you're doing an ICO and raising in ETH, if you raise $100 million and then Ethereum drops 90% in value, well, your project's only got 10 mil left. So reducing your runway, reducing what you've got left to pay your staff and expenses, but without cash flow and PE ratios like we have in the stock market, it's probably the only real way we have to value some of these coins. And again, so many reasons why Ethereum is important. Again, keep that in mind. The next thing here is trading, charting, and all those people that are trying to accumulate sats. So I did a video about whether or not it's better to trade and chart in USD or Bitcoin Satoshis. Watch that video if you haven't already, but we have a lot of different options now. So heading over to Bitcoin, the majority of the money does come in from fiat, from different countries or Tether. But now we have all these different pairs, exchanges, so many other options. Now, Bitcoin's obviously still the mainstay and very important. If you're going to buy or sell altcoins, you generally have to go in through Bitcoin. So buy some Bitcoin and then into the alts. Or if you're selling your alts, then you sell Bitcoin. So again, all that is adding to that correlation. And the really important thing to note is all those different pairs. So if I'm a trader and I'm charting and trading in all those different pairs, I'm kind of locking or pegging the value of that coin. Now let's explore where we sort of get these relationships from for a coin like Binance Coin that has all these different pairs with the alts that we see now. And then we'll head over to the Binance exchange and show you this in action. So just quickly, the altcoin relationship. Let's use some round numbers again. Bitcoin 10,000, ETH 1,000, and Binance $10. Let's say we've got a random altcoin that's $100. So the altcoin Bitcoin pair on an exchange or on TradingView, if we're charting, is 0.01. 0.1 for ETH and 10 is the relationship for Binance there. That's where we're getting these numbers from, guys, because this confuses a lot of people. Bitcoin with 8 decimal places, if we add the other 6 zeros there, that's where we get these sats value. So Bitcoin has 8 decimal places. You'll hear this term of, a million sats, 1,000 sats, and so on. So hopefully that's a clear explanation of where we get these numbers for all the different pairs that we find on Binance. Now, something like Binance Coin has held up really well, and I did that video of the different utility of the tokens, but the fact that we've got all these pairs, for any coin to change in price, whether it's paired with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, whatever it is, it's forming that relationship, that peg. And look at all the orders that sit in the order book here. This is the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, but we can click on any pair on this list and we have orders in the order book. So if one coin moves in price, it's triggering those other orders. Now we have bots that are trading different strategies. We've got day traders, swing traders, all those different people that are trading back and forward and holding that relationship at the ratios that we see here. So not even really worrying about that dollar price. So to give you a really clear example of how this works and is important, let's say we've got a little altcoin that's only on one exchange and only available in a dollar pair. If it's sitting at a price of $10, for it to drop to zero in value, there's only the one exchange in dollars on that one little order book. So all those orders are all that's in the way of it going to zero. Now, if you think about how many orders around the world are priced in, Binance Coin now, or let alone Bitcoin, all the pairs it has on every exchange of every altcoin, it's so hard in theory for that to drop to zero. As long as those other coins are worth something and it's pegged at those different ratios, it's always triggering orders and cushioning that blow. And I think that's something that isn't talked about a lot, and it is really holds a big part of why those prices are always moving and triggering each other. A big sell-off, it triggers all those orders in the relationship, the pairs, and pushes the market around. Whether it's traders, bots, or just orders getting liquidated, it holds that relationship true. So that's the first thing to note. As we said, day traders trading their pairs in Bitcoin or dollar terms adds to that relationship. Different bots going back and forward on exchanges or trading from home computers, things like Bollinger Bands. Again, it's just all going back and forward. Wash trading on some exchanges. It's just holding that relationship between the altcoin and the denominator pair, whatever pair you're trading or charting on that exchange. So hopefully I've explained that all reasonably well. I guess the counter argument here is, well, why do alts go down if Bitcoin goes up? Let's say we get an ETF or that backed exchange come online. Well, in that instance, everyone's going to want to be in Bitcoin because all the money is going to be seen to be flowing in there from the institutional buyers. So people are, in that instance, going to sell all of their altcoins in those pairs and go into Bitcoin. So on the whole, again, it's the general sentiment mood, the market moving into Bitcoin. So let me know what you think, guys. What determines it? Is it the news? Is it the technicals? Is it the trading pairs? Is it a bit of everything, as I believe and as I've spoken about in this video? Have I missed anything? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share these videos around. And as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Cheers.